Co-op mode, round 107. This is the official video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. I am Todd Oxtra from beautiful Savage, Minnesota, joined by our protector on the East Coast, Mark the Canadian Carabin.
Hey, how's it going?
It's delayed reaction there, Mark. He's like, yeah,
yeah,
that's me.
you kind of like sometimes you continue and other times you just stop off. And I was expecting a continuation that time, but you caught me off guard, which is not saying much for like the protector of the East Coast. That's completely, yep.
You know what? I try to make you a humble man, so I maybe I should have just came right in and made you not feel awkward about your protector skills, but that's okay.
Yeah,
how you doing, bud?
It's okay. I'm pretty good. How are you?
No, good. Better than last night.
Yep.
A little craziness with my wife being at the ER, which was just crazy, but
no.
She's doing much better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's doing much better. Yeah, we were getting a little scared there because I heard about it. She was at Taekwondo. She essentially had a blackout moment, then had some amnesia, which was very odd. All the tests she passed and everything seems to be good. She took today off, taking off tomorrow. But as of right now, my wife potentially might be in a video game. Like, amnesia, she develops a power. So I'm hoping she'll get a mutant ability out of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's hoping.
You better hope that your wife doesn't punch you.
No, she's in the other room. She's an author by trade, so she'll write some. Hopefully, this is inspiration for a new story for her. But
exactly,
yeah. But you heard that voice, folks, and if you're watching this, you see her right now, and that is a streaming aficionado, great person. You know what? Likes us so much, came back a second time, and that is LeMortaSavage, aka Savage. Savage, how you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate you guys inviting me onto the show for the second time in a row. Not really like I'm pretty sure you were like, okay, let's just get this over with or whatever. But no, I'm just playing. No, man. I'm good.
for anyone listening that's not aware, let's address the elephant in the room. This is the second time we're recording this episode. We've slightly changed a couple of things because we recorded this whole thing to get it out on Wednesday as usual. And for the first time ever, the recording software that we use had an epic fail where we could download a couple of the things that we needed, but not everything. We talked to the support page, the support people. We tried logging in multiple times, tried refreshing things, tried our very best to recover what we lost. And Savage was awesome enough to be like, hey, let's just record again.
Yeah, I have no life. We can do it again.
That's what you're hearing.
No, don't admit that. No, like I'll do it for you guys as a favor. I think that's what you said.
Yeah, we've got to. Yeah, you're coming in for those 6-month Twitch subs that we definitely owe you now.
Yeah.
She's definitely getting my Amazon Prime
100%.
Yeah.
For the next
the Prime
indefinite
subscription.
future.
I actually like getting those Prime subscriptions because one, it's like I'm helping you guys, save money. It's free. Like, why not take advantage of it? Absolutely. So it's you're not spending money, but yeah, I'm still getting money. It's a what do you call it?
Win-win.
A quid pro quo. I can't say that word.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. Yeah, that's awesome. We are going to get a little bit more into your streaming and introduction and a couple of questions for you. But first, Todd, let's tell people about Patreon and the exciting stuff that's going on over there.
Yeah, we've been with our Patreon, has launched about 3 weeks out. Since that time, we've got about 7 subscribers, which is fantastic. And it's awesome. It's all folks that we appreciate. I think there's one person we don't actually know who they are. So we like the secret members that joined. So our newest members with the Friends with Benefits package, as we call it, the folks that want to just support us, don't care about getting any of the benefits. They just like what we do. So we appreciate you. That's John Sedorf and Brendan Myers. Oh my goodness. And the Friend with Benefits here, they get bonus content. They do get Discord benefits. So there is some, Friends with Benefits. They do get
some perks.
Yeah, exactly. And we appreciate them. So thank you so much. And then the Friend Zone, these are the folks that truly are just, they just want to say thank you for doing awesome stuff. So we appreciate you too. And that is Joanna Diskovich and Derek Trevelyan. Both of these are folks that Charlie Carden is tight with. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. And of course, shout out as well to Sean Stella and Henry Nias and Missy Merchant for just that like BFF level of support. You guys are just the best, absolutely the best.
Absolutely. And, with that has benefits. So we already gave the Nias family their power ups. I think it was a mixed bag of the ones that they got, but they get no, you know what? There's no refunds with games. You bought it, you own it, you break it, you bought it. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But in this case, this one's for Missy. So Missy Merchant is going to get a video game power up. So Missy is a huge Star Trek fan. She's been a great addition to the Secret Friends Unite community. So, folks, what would you give Missy as her video game power up?
You could easily go with something Star Trek themed. You could easily go with some kind of space-based power up. Hell, you could even go with the Force or something. But I'm not going to go that simple. I'm going to go to an old school video game, and I'm going to give her a wacky and weird power up that I really like. And that is Cool Spot's sunglasses. No, I'm just joking. Although that
You always have sunglasses.
you have sunglasses. That's your power, Missy. No, I'm just
And if
joking.
you
I'm just
lose
joking.
them, like everybody loses their sunglasses, it's a really, it saves you
Yeah,
money.
I know.
I have
Yeah.
some sunglasses that you'll, never lose. You'll wind up finding them anywhere, and everybody knows what they look like because they're very unique.
Uh-oh.
And it's also my favorite fruit.
Okay, we've got a visual aid here. If you need to watch this,
awesome.
These are pretty
I'm like,
sweet.
have you seen my pineapple sunglasses?
Oh my God, they match your hair too.
There's no mistaking those for anything else. It's not like,
yeah.
have you seen my pineapple sunglasses? Oh, what do those ones look like? It's
They're pineapple. No, I actually initially got these glasses because of the video game that I stream on the most of the time. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yeah.
all right.
I love prop comedy. I love this.
Fantastic. We didn't
need
plan
more
that
props.
out. That didn't
Oh my
happen in the
goodness.
first episode.
No, it didn't. I was like,
So I went off the rails on this one a little bit, but so you know that you're not getting that lost episode at all verbatim. The real power up I'm going to give to Missy is from Plock for Super Nintendo, and that is the ability to detach and throw your limbs in a boomerang style that they will come back to you, and you can kind of juggle your four limbs, and if you feel like it, hop around as a torso stump kind of thing while your limbs are off doing other things. Very useful if you have something that you want to reach. Again, I could have probably said you have force powers, but I'm going to go with boomerang limbs that detach and can come back, like Plock, Plok, for the Super Nintendo. That's my choice.
Shaking of the head right now, Mark.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna pull out some weird ones. So if anyone else wants the weirdest video game power that I can think of at the time, you know what tier to jump on. Savage.
My turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want a powerful one. So I've always enjoyed the powerful women in video games, especially like in the video games that are based out on like our old school comics and things like that. So like Marvel Universe, we got DC, all that stuff. Um, so whenever I think of a powerful woman in video games and all that stuff, I feel like someone who's able to control the elements, whether it be fire, whether it be water, earth, things like that. But I want to give her a dangerous one. So I pick lightning, that she can use whenever she wants and however she wants. For example, like if she's walking down the street. I don't know if you're going to be doing this later, but walking down the road by yourself and it's dark, you're coming home. I don't know what you're doing, but you're walking alone and someone's coming at you and they're threatening you, and just zap them. Just hit
Zap
them
'em.
with the lightning. Just and be like, don't
That's
mess
what you
with
want.
me. No.
Yeah.
Or it can be used for subtle things like, oh look, my phone has only had 19%. Full charge.
Love it.
Right.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
Whenever. However you want to do it.
That makes me think of
I like it.
Infamous. Infamous, the main character, Cole, he had lightning powers, and they were so awesome.
Mm.
Like, if people would go on water, you could shoot the water with electricity. They would go on the water, and that was great. Love it.
Yeah.
It's
I think
like
of Storm, like
Oh, yeah.
from X-Men.
It's a running gag basically on Holocron Chronicles, like our Star Wars show, that everyone, like, I always ask the question, like, if you had force powers, would you go light side or dark side? And some people are like, oh, light side, 100%, I'm a good guy, and other people are like, I am bad to the bone, baby, give me those dark side powers. But there's a running thread throughout it that even if someone picks the light side, they're like, I want to be good, but I also want force lightning. There's something about force lightning that people are just like, I
They just like
need
it
that,
because it's
and I
powerful.
don't care how many younglings I need to kill to get it. Like, people just
Not the
love lightning
younglings.
powers. So that's a great one. I love that.
Is there
Todd,
is there
how do you
is
feel?
there another like Jedi offensive ability though? That's not like just like pushing someone, pulling them, or using them right? Because like that seems like the only offensive weapon that you really have. Unless you can
You
throw
can, I
things at
mean, you can
people. But
do
yeah,
like the
you can
lift
move
and
objects,
stuff.
right?
You can still
Telekinesis.
do,
What is it called?
yeah.
Not the is it not telekinesis? No, not the
Yeah, moving
telekinesis.
objects, I guess.
Mhm.
Telekinesis.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
telekinesis, moving objects with your mind. Yeah.
And I mean, Cal Kestis in Fallen Order can freeze,
Okay, that's a good one.
laser bolts and stuff, similar to like we
Redirect.
saw Kylo Ren do in the movies. So, and I mean, we even saw Rey accidentally, but she still used lightning powers. So we, I think there's some gray area there that you can kind of
Yeah.
dabble and use some lightning if and still kind of be a
It'll
good
be
guy.
canon next week, Mark. We'll allow it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I am going with another offensive weapon. Because a good offense, good defense. So Missy has a mohawk, so I figure, you know what? Take that, your own personality, you're reflecting your ability. Take that off your head, and it's almost like Yandu, take it off, but then use it almost like as a boomerang or like an offensive ability, and it comes back and it goes right back in your head. I mean, how cool is that? I'm a little jealous. If I could grow a mohawk, I could. At best, I can grow a skullet. Nobody wants that. So
I kind of do.
nobody wants it. Mark. Nobody wants it. I had a mullet as a 13-year-old boy that was permed. So nobody wants that to come back.
I
Oh yeah.
do.
Oh yeah. There's pictures of that.
100%.
Oh yeah. There's pictures of that.
So well, that kind of ties in because and she can throw her limbs with lightning coming out of them and the mohawk. So you just like that's 5 things she's throwing
Yes.
along with lightning abilities. That is just a badass power set right there.
Exactly. And she can, when she get like her skill tree would say like, oh, it's now a mohawk with fire capabilities. Now it's got ice. Now it has something else attached to it. So maybe lasers coming out of, I don't know.
Spikes, because then you can throw it like it, or it becomes metal, so you can throw it and use it like it hits into a wall, and you use that to like dash up to the next level because life is a platforming game.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Love it.
You guys don't see life in 2D platforming elements? That's just
I do all the time.
I have to. Okay.
I do all the time. It's like Tetris,
Perfect.
Stacking and moving. It just all works. So yes. So very cool. Thank you, Patreons. And if you're interested in joining the Patreon, obviously non-patrons will still get all of our content you get today, but all the extra bonus content we do. That's what the perk is when you get to the Friends with Benefits level. Check out patreon.com/SecretFriendsUnite and learn more about it. So with that, we said we were going to ask our guest more questions to get to know her a little bit better, and we're going to do that right now. So, Mark, you are very good at asking questions. I'm good at being goofy, so go ahead.
Sure thing. You already gave a little introduction of yourself, Savage, but I want to know kind of um, who you are, where people can find you on the internet, kind of thing to start off, and what your channel's all about. Like, because you're mostly, I guess, first and foremost known as a Twitch streamer. So tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
what you do.
Well, I go by LeMortaSavage. People who regularly watch my streams just call me Savage because it's easier on the tongue. Um, and well, I Twitch. I do the streaming on Twitch. I play mostly Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was my is my number one go-to game. But I also like to dabble in other video games as well. So I play a plethora of them, but mostly Sea of Thieves. Um, and I've been doing streaming for about 3 years already. Originally, I started on Mixer whenever it was still, existing, and then it got bought out by Facebook, and now it's Facebook streaming, which I don't do that. I tried it once, and then because and I didn't like it because my family and friends, they don't really they think I'm a nerd. They can't relate to my nerdiness. And I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
guys know this too. Like, if you're trying to explain a video game to one of your family members or friends, and you're just like, "Oh my god!" and it's just you got to play it, and then there's so much things, and you start talking about all the details, they're just like,
Hmm.
"What?"
Yeah.
And it's not the
Blank.
same. So I
Yep.
don't Facebook. I don't get the same reaction. So
I say, yeah. Facebook for me is a lot of, yeah, like that, like work or family friend,
yeah,
like,
work
like
or family
aunts and
friends.
uncles and stuff that
Yes.
just are like, yeah, I like video games. Donkey Kong's still a thing, right? Um,
I use it
so
for
So
yeah,
onion
I get
articles.
that.
I just post onion articles on Facebook. That's about pretty much all I
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
no,
So
I get
like I
that.
have several social medias, and I'm Lamorta Savage on every single one of them. So funny enough, I am the only one with that name. So if you look it up, all my profiles will pop up. Twitter, Facebook, um, what else is there? Discord,
Uh,
Instagram, Discord,
Instagram, and
Hive,
yeah,
because all the cool kids are there.
yeah.
Hive, yeah, Hive, yeah.
Well, I don't actually have
Um,
Hive. What's Hive?
Well,
you
not
gotta
many
jump
people
on
do.
Hive before Elon kills Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
That's a
I'll check
yeah.
that out. But
Yeah.
but anyways, so I'm on like all the social media platforms. If you ever want to follow me, it's just Lamorta Savage on Twitch. Come check me out because I'm a little nerdy. I'm a little dorky. I can't talk right. I get my words mixed up. And I have this. I don't know. I feel like I have this chaotic energy that I don't. I don't know. Is
It's fun to
I
watch.
don't know. It's not.
Yeah.
I can't explain how what happens on my stream. It just happens.
Which
So you're
kind of
always
ties
going to be
into
surprised.
playing, yeah, kind of ties into playing Sea of Thieves because you never know what's going to happen in that game. It's
Heck yeah.
always like you can jump in and be like, okay, today we're doing fishing, and the people on the server are like, the hell you're not. Like, I'm
Yeah.
coming at you. So like it's you can't control other people. So it's a game that you don't know what's going to happen. You can't script
Mhm.
things. You can't be like, I'm going to explore over here and nothing's going to happen out of the ordinary. So
Yeah.
um
So overall, I mean, if you haven't heard of Sea of Thieves is a PvP, PvE RPG, like role playing game, basically. You're pirates, and it can be anywhere from one person or 1 to 4 players on, your team. Okay, so if you want to go by yourself and go sail around on what we call it a sloop. It's just like a two-man ship that you can control by yourself, which is, by the way, the best ship ever. I lied.
yep.
No, no, no. The best ship ever
I
if
like
you're
the sloop.
solo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and so you can go around the seas and you can do all sorts of trying to find because you're a pirate. So your main thing is to get the booty. You got to get the treasure. You're gonna
Wait,
go
wait. What
after
are we
that
talking
booty.
about? Wait, what are we talking about? Okay.
The treasure, the
It's
gold.
we've
PG. It's a PG
we've
game,
slipped
folks.
into
Calm
co-op mode after
down. Yeah.
dark.
No, no, no.
If Patreon doesn't work for you, how about Todd's OnlyFans?
True.
So
Or the pirate's booty snack, that like popcorn snack
But
you get.
the pirates, they call it, the booty. You got to get all the
right,
treasure.
yeah.
The loot. So that's a little running joke that I have on my stream too. Um, long story short, we're just like, we're going to be after the booty. And I mean treasure, but some people take it the other way,
Do
like
we
you
do?
guys.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah. But so yeah, your main thing is to get all the gold that you can and go turn it into these people that are on islands and um but the catch is there's other real life people also trying to do the same thing and also trying to take your booty, your treasure.
Yeah.
um and you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes you'll be fine and you can be sailing around all day and with no interference. The next thing that you know, the next day you get on and it can be complete and utter chaos. Like all 5 ships that are on the server are going head to head. You're going to see cannonballs flying. You're going to see pirates getting shot out of the cannons and pets. The pets that you have, you can have like dogs and cats and birds. They're shooting out of the cannons. It's chaos. And I love it.
And they
Mark,
added foxes. I love foxes and the
Yeah,
pocket crabs.
pocket.
Uh,
Oh my god!
I
And
love that
we have
game.
rats now. Pocket rats.
pocket
There's
rats.
Pocket
pocket
rats.
rats now,
There's
right?
pocket rats.
Yeah.
Is that a
So
pocket rat in
Pocket.
your pocket, or are you just
it's a
happy to
pet.
see me?
It's a pet you keep in your pocket, and you can be like,
You
Of
get, yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Where do
I
you
was.
play? Oh, sorry.
"Where do I play?"
Yeah, how do you play? Do you play on Xbox, PC?
Oh
Because it's
yes,
on both, right?
Xbox. I originally started out on PC, but my little laptop cannot keep up with the graphics and stuff and all the updates that were added and all that stuff. And so I wound up just upgrading and getting an actual console. I play on the Xbox Series X, using keyboard and mouse because I'm still
Oh
used
wow.
Neat.
to.
Oh, very good.
So I'm still used to the keyboard. I cannot play Sea of Thieves on a controller to save my life.
All
But at
right.
the same time, if I go to
That's
Halo
cool.
or something, I can't play on the keyboard with Halo. I have to use a controller, which is weird.
No,
Wow.
that makes
All
sense.
right.
I'm the same way. I no longer play FPSs with keyboard and mouse,
Yeah,
but that's interesting that you do a little bit. You're like, oh, I'm ambidextrous, and that's kind of cool that they do allow that flexibility.
yeah.
Because I know in console like FPSs, sometimes like the person playing keyboard and mouse often has a advantage. Is there an advantage
Mm.
with mouse and keyboard in Sea of
Yes.
Thieves, or is it? Oh,
It's
there
it's a
is.
little
Okay.
bit for me. I don't know if it's just a response time or if I feel like I don't know. I'm more comfortable with my hands like this in that game. But it's weird is a lot of people. Like, how like you have a keyboard set up. WASD is to go forward, backward, side to side. I use my mouse to move around. So my left mouse, right mouse is forward, backwards, and
What?
No
then
way.
all my left hand is my fire button, my block button, and all that stuff. And so I'm just everywhere. And so all I'm
Wow.
doing is moving around with this, and then like I don't know, it's crazy.
I
And
think
a
you
lot of
just
people,
blew Lee Navarro's mind because he'd be
and I
Yeah.
like,
tell
"That
people
is
my
Literally.
setup,
blasphemy! Blow up your keyboard now
and I
and your
tell
mouse."
people how I do it, and they're like, "What?"
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Because well, and it works for me because I have like this little pull out where I keep my keyboard.
Yeah,
And majority of the time, whenever I see people doing the WASD,
yeah.
they have their keyboard tilted sideways to make it a
Oh,
little bit more comfortable,
got it.
and I can't. So I've adapted.
Folks, this did
All
not
right.
come up in our first recording, and my
None of it
No.
came
mind
up.
is
I'm
No.
blown.
throwing some brand new
Genuine
things out there.
reactions. I'm not. This is like
Mark
wow.
needs a
This is
keyboard
blowing
right
my mind.
now, ASAP.
Yeah. I don't even know how I'd set that. I don't even own a mouse.
This
I
would be
have
like
a
something you could like
trackpad.
tell people what you do it. You should just do a video like, "This is how I see a thieves." Xbox would probably want to talk to you about this because
Dude, I
this is
should
so
do that, right?
awesome. Because it's
I
like
am
it's
You
I'm
like
really
gonna do
should.
it.
Like
accessibility,
I.
right? It's
Yeah. You need
like
that YouTube
this is
video of like, here's my setup.
this is how
Here's
I
how my because you can change your configurations on everything on the
Hmm.
keyboard, and so like ASDF is straight down the line. Fire, aim, I forgot what D is, but F is to interact, spacebar is to jump.
Wow.
So everything is just within
I'd have to
a
put
hand's reach.
like things on my fingers to remember what they are. Like I'd have to write on them. But
Holy.
this is
Yeah.
awesome.
You're
I mean,
blowing my
you could
mind right
like this
now.
is all about accessibility, and that's an amazing thing about this game.
Yes, and
Play
Sea of
how you
Thieves is
want to play, and
very, very good
wow,
with having accessibility options for people like that. Especially the blind, hard of seeing. They have all sorts of adaptability with that accessibilities and in the game itself. Hard of hearing, they have speech to what is it called?
Text to speech
Text to speech. There you go.
or speech to text. Yeah.
They
Speech to
have
text, yeah.
descriptive as well, to where like if you're sailing, they can say, "Oh, like there's an island coming up on your left." Like they have so
Mm,
much stuff added in there. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
But
amazing.
anyways, so Sea of Thieves is my
Amazing.
main game, but I do dabble in other video games like Halo, Cyberpunk. We got uh, recently 007, of course, but I like puzzle games. So there's all sorts of games that I'll play. Even like I call it the Wusa games, where it kind of just like makes your mind
Mm,
melt.
yeah.
I have Power Wash Simulator. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
is a nice game to like
Very
just
like
wind
just
down
yeah.
with.
Did you see the DLC they just offered? So like they have you can do Laura Croft's mansion in Power Wash Simulator,
Right.
and you
Oh,
can
that would be
also
amazing.
wash Cloud's bike from Final Fantasy VII.
That's awesome. I saw the Lara Croft. I didn't see the bike. That's awesome.
I'm totally like, yes, let's do this.
Makes sense. Wash. What about
That's
Dog
great.
Wash Simulator? I mean, you have to turn your Power Wash Simulator down, but washing dogs and cats.
um, I don't know about
Nintendogs.
watching, yeah, Nintendogs, but then there's also like all sorts of other simulator games. Like, um, I've seen what Lawnmower Simulator, where it's
Mm,
like you're
Yep.
just riding lawnmowers or hand pushing lawnmowers. Farm Simulator.
Farm
They've come
Simulator.
out with
Yep.
all sorts of simulation games.
it's amazing,
And
and a lot
some
of them are
are
Game
on Game
Pass, so you can
Pass,
just
so
try
you can
it.
just
Yeah,
Yeah.
try them out.
see what you
So,
like.
Jinx.
There's and I always make fun of because there's like PC builder simulator, which I'm like, if you can't afford to make a PC, you can build it in a game, and I made an awesome gaming rig. So weird, so very
yeah.
cool.
It's great. It's great.
So yeah, all those
Um,
games, and that's pretty much all the games that I stream.
it's great.
Um,
Do you find like there's pros and cons of I mean you do variety kind of stuff, but like being known for Sea of Thieves or that kind of being a default, like what's your favorite thing about having that as something to fall back on at least?
well, Sea of Thieves, the only con that I see about it is because there are so many players in Sea of Thieves. I want to say the
Mm,
last time that Rare had did like a count for like their fourth anniversary, over like 10 million people were playing this game on a
crazy.
regular basis.
Yeah.
It's very, very popular. And if you are streaming it, I feel like if you're not like the super famous streamer already, Hitbo TC, we got Azuki, we got Katie Pierce, we have Behaving Beardly, Beardageddon. There's so many streamers out there that are already like famous. So even if you're
Yeah.
trying to like stream that, it's they say it's like oversaturated basically.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
that's the only con about it, is that if you're trying to get up there, Sea of Thieves is already saturated enough with like these big top streamers that
Yeah.
it's not going to really work out. But I say nay nay. I'm getting up there, you know?
Right.
I'm slowly growing. My goal for the by the end of this year is going to be up to 1,000 followers, and I'm at 760 right now. So
All right.
I gave myself a pretty good
You're on your
amount of
way. Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Go
And once
follow.
people
Go
hear
follow.
about
Help her
how
hit
you
that 1,000.
play and people want to learn more about your control scheme,
Hmm.
that's a in with a lot of people. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
One thing we kind of mentioned yesterday, and I do want to retouch on that, is the girl gamer stigma,
Yeah.
and you know that kind of stuff. And I know it happens to Twitch streamers a lot, and you know it's like, oh, you're just doing it for the clicks, you're just doing it for this or that or whatever it is. Do you find you run into a lot of that on Twitch, or have you kind of curated it in a way so far that like you know that slow and steady kind of build up to your amount of followers and the like Discord and communities that you build, like do you run
Um,
into that a lot?
with the girl gamer stigma, like a lot of people, I find that I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like especially in the men mentality, every other man out there feels like, oh, I want a gamer girlfriend, whatever. They have this
Mm,
um image that's in their head that they're gonna be cute and they're gonna be cutesy and they're gonna be like, dressed up in cosplay all the time. and that's what they expect whenever they
Hmm.
see me. But I'm like right now, I'm literally wearing sweats and this ratty t-shirt that I've had for about 5 years. It has holes in the bottom. You can't see them because they're down here, but it has
You're
like
ruining the mystery right now as you speak.
yeah. And they think like these are like real prescription glasses or whatever. They're like, oh, glasses, that's hot. I'm like, no, these are just the what do you call it? The
Oh, like
Like the
they
blue
help they
light
protect
lenses.
your
yeah, the
eyes
blue
from
light lens
yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I'm staring at screens constantly most of the day.
Hmm.
So this definitely helps my eyes. They're like, that's still hot. And I'm like, well, you shut the hell up. Like,
I wish
they're
people
here to
said I
protect
was
my
hot,
eyes. I'm
but
not
just
trying to
kidding.
be
No, just
sexy.
kidding. No,
So,
Yeah.
I've never got
so
that comment with my glasses.
I think you're a very attractive man,
There
Todd.
you go. Thank you, Mark. I was just
I
waiting
think
very
for
you're
that,
just
attractive.
man.
handsome.
Well, thank
You're the
you.
reason that I do this show.
Don't
Is
objectify me,
to
Mark.
see you. Too late.
But and
That's
then when they watch me and they finally tune in, like I'm just like I'm here. Like I'm just whatever. I'll be drinking a Dr. Pepper and like 5 seconds later I'll let out a freaking loud ass burp on the 10, like from a scale from 1 to 10, it's a 10. And they're like, that's gross. And I'm like, you expected
okay.
something else? Like
You
this is
cover your
me. If you
mouth
don't
and
like it,
say,
Yeah.
"Excuse
like
me."
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, excuse me. I can't even see. I can't even do the
Can't
cutesy
even do
voice.
it. No.
Like I can't. No, it's not. That's not me.
That's that's kind of what I liked when I first tuned into your stream. And I found you on a Sea of Thieves group and kind of like tuned in, and it was that kind of like hilarious, real chaos energy that you described. It was just like, man, she's just like herself,
I'm
just
her. I'm
playing the game
myself.
and just like
Yeah.
being a pirate and just like having fun. And it was just hilarious to watch. Like that's kind of what I dug the first time I tuned in. So
So yeah. So
I
that's
I like that approach.
that'll be like the only like stigma around it. It's like people expect to see like a girly, cutie, whatever. And whenever they actually see me and they watch me, they're just like. So that kind of like deters my followers because those true followers that actually follow me actually like me for me. And so I feel like that's the reason for the slow and steady, increase because I'm not everybody's tea. Like, but some girls make it work for them on stream. There's girls that do the hot tub streams, which is stupid, by the way. Like, why? Why are you gonna? Yes, it gives you money, but come on, like,
I've never seen.
have
Okay,
some.
the hot tubs, is that like, are they playing video games in a hot tub, or are they
No,
just
they're
sitting in a
just
hot
sitting there in
tub
a
with
hot
a
tub.
camera on? That's
Yeah,
it.
sitting
And
there in a hot
chatting.
tub with the camera on and
Yeah.
like if you wanted
That's the
that
whole thing.
if you wanted to watch or do some sort of things like that, take it to a different platform. Take it to
Right.
OnlyFans.
That's
Take it
yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Twitch is I mean,
There's
Twitch was I don't know what Twitch was originally made, but there's a bunch of
yeah.
video games here. We just want a game, okay?
Exactly.
That's
I
yeah.
would
That's
I would recommend one thing though, because you are really a good prop comic with your glasses. You
Oh,
need like one of those big ass pirate hats. Sorry for my language. And you need you need like a parrot. Do you have it?
yes.
Oh, is it coming out? There you see, and there's a pineapple next to you too. I
oh
see
yeah, it
it.
lights up. This is one of the anniversary gifts from my husband. It's probably my favorite anniversary gift that he gave me. It's a gold pineapple,
Oh my god,
That's awesome.
that
which
is
is
amazing.
like in Sea of Thieves, it's a fruit that you eat. It's the fruit that gives you the most health. Basically it reloads all your health, and they're very rare
Mm,
to come by. So,
yeah.
but this particular one
Oh, nice.
turns on, and
That's
there's
awesome.
glitter in it, and
Ooh.
it's just
Oh.
sparkly, and I love
You know what,
it.
folks? We tell you to watch
I
the
need to
video
steal that
version of this
from you.
Right?
podcast.
I got it at actually a restaurant. What is that restaurant called? I can't remember the restaurant. Anyways, this is me.
Like Margaritaville?
I
This is what you get when you come watch me.
that is fantastic.
And that's why we like you, because
Yeah.
you know what? You can't pretend being who you are, and that's
Yeah.
really why you gain a following. It's for who you are, because
That's
you
great.
can't put up an act for that long. It's
So,
just not
and it's
sustainable.
not just, me playing a game. It's like I'll do challenges and things like that. I do a charity event fundraiser specifically every single year for it's called Extra Life.
Yeah.
And what we do is we raise money for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
Todd's wearing his
And
Extra
I
Life
I'm wearing
shirt.
my
That's
Extra Life
amazing.
shirt right now as you speak.
dude, yes, I was thinking about wearing mine and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll just mention it, but heck yeah. So I do that every year.
That's
This year
great.
I raised 500. Last year I raised 700.
All right.
The year before that I raised 500. So like I've been on a steady like doing it every single year
I
type
got
thing.
this Jedi tattoo
Oh, that's right. Mark did it
for
live.
Extra Life live. I did a live
Nice.
stream in
You
the
did a live
chair
stream. Woo! I can't.
doing
That
it was like, tune in if you want to see me in some pain, and it was like the full Jedi sticker tattoo, like a couple of hours in a chair of just
It's
like,
great.
all right, donate.
dang, that's crazy. See, and with my events, I'm more like make me eat the bean boozled beans that taste like dog food
Oh,
and
the Harry
eggs
Potter
and
ones. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So they'll like one time I had to eat like 19 bean boozled things and I was sick to my stomach the
Probably got
next
the
day.
boogers.
I was sick, like
I should I should
nauseous.
plan I should plan out like another like one chip challenge or something for Extra Life next year.
I think
See,
so,
and I
Mark.
can't do
Be fun.
spicy. I will
Oh,
throw up
yeah.
spicy.
The last
Pepper
the one chip challenge
pepper
I
is
did
too
this
hot for
year
me.
was just it wasn't good. It
And
was
you're
not good.
down south. My goodness, that's almost like
Yeah, and
Yeah,
sacrilege.
I'm
it's surprising.
Hispanic. Like I'm supposed to be like a Mexican, Hispanic, like the spicy, the salsa, all that stuff. I can't do
Yeah,
it. I
You know
can't.
so
what? You're an exception to the rule, and we
I
appreciate that.
that's it.
mean, I have
That's it.
another friend that streams, and she always calls me the coconut because I'm brown on the outside but white on the inside. I
Oh
can't
my god, I
stand
love that.
spicy things. So
Love that. Oh, I love that. Well, before we wrap this up, one little
That's
question,
amazing.
just
okay.
one tip, because you're a parent, you're a
Oh
spouse,
yeah.
you work for a living. If there's one tip you can give people to to balance that work life fun balance, what was that one tip you give people to say, I can enjoy my hobby but still keep my life afloat?
Um. Yeah. So that's really hard, but having a routine, a set schedule, for everything, and also communication. Like those three things are probably the most things that you have to like work on and concentrate on all the time, no matter what. Me and my husband, we've been married for 16 years, going on 17 in July.
Wow.
Um, I'm old. I don't look it, but I'm old. Um, and just having to communicate with him on the days like, okay, what do you have planned for today? What do I have planned today? What do the kids have planned today? Because we have kids that are ages like 8 and 6, and they go to school. And so I work full time, he works full time. And so it's just constant like messaging, hey, what do you got planned for today? Oh, nothing. I'm just going to do this. From what time to what time? Well, after I go pick up this kids from school, like constant like communication for that. Also, scheduling. So you don't burn yourself out or you don't overwhelm yourself or overbook yourself. Scheduling is a key component to everything. So, like for me, I have a set routine that I will do every single day, and I try not to deviate from that. Um, it also doesn't help that if I do deviate from that, my OCD and then my anxiety goes every haywire because I've deviated from my plan.
Yep.
But having that routine definitely does help.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well, I think we can all
Awesome.
relate to that. I tell my wife, if it's not on my Outlook calendar, honey, I don't know, it doesn't exist in the world.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is what I've planned for the day. If you try to come in
absolutely.
and oh, by the way, my mom wants to do something, and I'm like, I can't because I've already scheduled this event or that time. I'm not
Mhm.
now gonna have to cancel or whatever, and it just irritates me. It frustrates me because my plans have changed, and this is what I've planned for. I've planned days in advance for for this to happen at that time.
Well,
So.
we appreciate that you made the time for us twice.
Very
So
much so.
you are a
Thank
rock
you again.
star.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
this, and this is so much fun doing it the second time because we're getting so many more cool, things that
Yeah.
we're learning so much about you. So this is very cool. And this is going to be a very quick transition to one of probably people's least and most favorite parts of our show. Mark, I don't know. He's probably 50-50 on this one. Sometimes he hates it. Sometimes he likes it. And I actually changed this one. We're going to do Buy Rent Return this week. And it's about music games because there was a certain game I played that is music inspired. So I picked, I changed this one. Last time I put a game in, nobody liked. So I said, you know what? Screw you guys.
My
I'll
reaction
appease
and
you.
Mark's reaction were like, seriously?
Just pure
Just like,
disappointment.
why?
So
Yeah.
Parappa the Rapper got voted off the island for Buy Rent Return this week. So music games, we've got Just Dance, Rock Band, Guitar Hero. Now, if anybody poo-poos Just Dance I think is like probably the top selling music game of all time. I think they're still making Just Dance games on Wii. So
I think this year was the last year actually, but yeah, up until this year, you're right.
Exactly. So Just Dance, Rock Band, Guitar Hero. So folks, I'm going to start with Savage.
Okay. So, let's see. Okay. So, my hands down, like no contest, Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero because I, as a musician myself, like I majored in music back in college, music performance, and so I had to learn a lot of instruments and things like that. So for me, Guitar Hero was just another game slash instrument I was able to learn. I really enjoyed it. Two, it had the most epic playlist to play. Whether it was Guitar Hero 1, Guitar Hero 2, uh, Guitar Hero, the, what was it, World Tour, um, all those songs that were put on there were just perfection.
Yep.
The best songs ever. Lacuna Coil, Linkin Park, Metallica, like from all sorts of rock genres, bam,
Yep.
like together. Perfect. Let's see. Rent. This is hard. Okay. Rent would be Rock Band. Because, again, it's okay playlist. To me, it was like a knockoff version of Guitar Hero. The instruments were still okay, kind of not the same quality as Guitar Hero. It didn't feel the same because it was more a little bit blocky. Not more like, I don't
found
know.
them squishy.
Yeah, the
I
buttons were
found them
kind of
like the
like
buttons were
weird.
squishy. Yeah.
But at the same time, the instruments itself were blocky. Like they didn't have, you know how Guitar Hero had like the whole round thing, like right here, where it was like cradled in your hand, and it just felt natural. The Rock Band's Guitar Hero or guitars. Oh, I'm jealous. Look at those buttons.
Yeah. That's the stuff right there.
The Rock Band didn't fit in my hand as right, because it was from, I don't know. To me, it was just blocky. But anyways, to rent, I would rent that one, and then to return would be Just Dance because I can't dance for shit. Like I have two left feet. I'm a nerd. I sit there in the corner watching everybody at the dance.
Do the Carlton.
So I can't do any of that. So I will just return that game. I'll try it, fall over maybe once or twice, then be like, nope, I give up. Send it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna copy paste your answer right there because that's my Buy Rent Return straight up. Like Guitar Hero playlists, Rock Band, still good, still have a good time, and they were the first ones to like bring in all of the instruments. So you got to appreciate that.
Keyboard.
But I also loved when Guitar Hero took in all the instruments, what they did with it, and how they did it differently. So I always liked Guitar Hero better, same kind of thing. And then I tried Just Dance. I just not like.
It's a party game for just folks to get together and be silly. I think that's probably the best way you can
but
put it.
I always found like when you try to play it, like if you are not a dancer, there was always someone there that was like, I've got 7,000 hours into this game and I know every move and I'm going to just, like going up against, I'm sure like some casual person going up against me in Guitar Hero. Like I hosted Guitar Hero tournaments and stuff here. Like I'm not like super expert, like through the fire and flames on expert behind my head level, but
That's my
like there
son.
were a few songs on expert that I could like play behind my head and like not look at the things and just be like, yeah, let's do this. So like,
I'm
and I
sorry, I
and
just
I,
had
I
like
knew
a visual of him doing it behind his head and then flipping it around and do it with his tongue and then like doing it like
It's like
upside
those people that
down.
do air guitar.
not the tongue, but like the rest of the stuff, like sometimes, yeah. But like, and I knew those people, like I'd have friends that would be like, I'd be trying like, okay, 1 step, 2 step, 3, and like the awkwardest like single step
No, you've
dance, and
got
they'd be
like
like
Yeah,
flipping and flopping like
you've got
freaking
ridiculous
Michael
choreography,
Flatley.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it, 100%. Like, and like, you know, you get Lord of the Dance up here. That's just like, you know, I'm going. And it was just always like, well, okay,
I
I
had a
quit.
friend who was like
And
that, and
yeah,
he could just like even at the arcades where they had the Just Dance
hmm,
arcade
yeah,
Oh
thing,
yeah.
and he would hold on to the pole, and his feet would just be,
It's like
and I'm just
DDR,
like,
right? Those people that are like,
yes,
what are you
yeah,
even doing? That's not even like music. Like you are a
yeah,
machine.
yeah, and I'm
yeah,
like, I wish I could do that, but I can't.
Yeah.
So I'm
hmm,
just gonna sit here and
yeah.
watch you.
And that's like that is what I do, like Just Dance a little bit more like than DDR, where it has to be very, very precise, but like still I'm like just slowly trying to copy something I see on the screen, and it's like, how do you know this? How is this a thing? And then I just yeah, that's
It
what
might
I
as
do.
well be watching you play Beat Saber in VR. It's like, what is Mark
That's it.
doing with these things? And what dance is
That's
that?
it. You give me a lightsaber though, I'm dancing my little booty off.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
I like Beat Saber.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
There's a Dance Central game, which is a great like Connect game. In
Okay.
Quest, I got that game. It's so much fun, but when I did it, my son mocked me. He's like, "Dad, you are not a hip hop dancer. You're not doing something like." But I feel so cool when I do it. So
It's just, you know, that's the nice thing about VR is you escape to another world.
and no one, and I can't see
You're
myself, and that's probably the important
yeah.
part.
The only thing with VR is that the headset, I wish it was more comfortable.
Yeah,
Because
Mm,
I love
yeah.
the VR and I could spend hours in VR, but the head, like my face
yeah.
starts to hurt, and then like this part
Mm,
of my crown starts to hurt where that strap is like right there.
yep.
They need to make a more comfortable headset. I'm sorry.
Apparently, the PlayStation VR is the most comfortable one. From what I understand, they are continuing that. So,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll
If the
tell you,
rumors are
yeah,
true, the Quest 3 is going to be
We'll
more
have
comfortable,
like
like a
a,
lot
yeah,
thinner and like less weight, because it's the weight on the front, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's the weight right here.
a lot of places are putting the
And it's not
battery in the
using
back.
straps anymore because Quest One
That's
used
yeah.
straps, which sucked,
Yeah.
and it was easy. It was
Yeah.
not easy to do. Yeah, and if you wear glasses, guys,
And in
yeah,
Quest
it's
2,
not
they
good.
gave me the glasses spacer, which I'm like,
Yeah,
what is this little
Mhm.
like 2 centimeter gap thing gonna
Yeah.
help?
yeah. It's kind
Yeah.
of a mess. So yeah, waiting for innovations in that. I've heard you can get glasses specifically for VR that you can put in the lenses, but that's an expense
Mm,
that I don't even think about. But
yeah.
yeah, we'll wrap this up with me. So you know what? I will not go that far off book, but I will swap Rock Band because of the social aspect of it. I know Guitar Hero
Mm,
is more hardcore. My son was big into Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, where they added in like almost boss battles and things like that, and the difficulty of
yes.
Fury in the Flame. Totally love that stuff, but I was not as good. But Rock Band was just getting drunk, having Rock Band parties with your buddies, and just having a good time. Myself, Sean Nias, my buddy Brian Cole. That's what we do. And these are folks who aren't normally that type of person, but it just brought out their just goofy antics, and we had a blast. And there's so many songs I discovered because of Rock Band that makes me so
Mm,
happy. So it's really, it was a great way to bring in more music. And so Rock Band definitely my number one. Guitar Hero, just as a great just solo play experience, and just really getting into the groove and almost making it like a real game, but with cool music and experiencing it. Really good. Just Dance. You know what? I appreciate what people get out of it. A lot of social aspects. It's great for that, but not for me. I think I've played a little bit, but yeah, just definitely not for me. But before we wrap this up, I shared this with you, Mark, on Twitter. Hyperkin is essentially
yeah.
like they're like fishing out there to essentially make new instruments for Rock Band. And Mark, you've said you'd rather have a Guitar Hero, but I'm like, I don't know where Activision's going, but maybe if Xbox gets Activision, we get Guitar Hero back and we do the
Yep.
same thing. Because you know what? I've got two instruments right next to me. I showed a couple of those before, But if those things break, I'm like $400 in on eBay, hoping I can find another like guitars. So
Yeah.
please, someone, because the games are backwards compatible on at least Rock Band 4 is, and I'm not sure about Guitar Hero, but you can still play them on modern consoles, so it's great. So please bring those back. So folks, let us know if you enjoyed our music game picks, and just let me know if you like Parappa the Rapper, because please validate me in my experience. That's all I ask. Oh well. So we move on to what we've been playing. Before we get into that, we've got a question about gaming, which is great. Brendan Myers, our newest member for the Patreon team. Thank you, Brendan. He asked, what are some video games you enjoy playing recently? I'm currently replaying Shadow of Mordor, and it just feels like it's pure video game killing orcs and leveling up your skills. And I will tell him, I love the Mordor games. I think those are fantastic. And I do love that. Just like get in, do something. Just the mechanics are awesome. It's simplistic. It's not like it's like brain surgery. You're not solving puzzle. You're just having a great time. I would say Evil West, which I talked about a couple episodes ago,
Oh yeah.
was
Yep.
so fantastic. It's visceral. It feels like Gears of War, but with like melee. That was the game I was just completely in on. So that's a game. And Hi-Fi Rush, which I will talk about in a second, feels like that too. It's bashing, hitting the music and just feeling it, and it's so visceral. So that's my pick.
Nice.
Savage, have you been playing any like video games? And like for anyone listening that's not like kind of familiar with what that term means, while Savage thinks of an answer, I'm gonna explain. Like that's, to me anyway, and I think Brendan's thinking the same lines. But for me, this is a game that just feels just like it's just a game. Like it doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to have a deep story. It's not like God of War Ragnarok or something that tells this amazingly deep narrative. It's just, for me, it's just something dumb fun that I can turn my brain off, and it's just like a mechanic or stupidness that's just like, that is just a video game. Like there's no other, you can't translate this into a movie or anything. I guess with although Shadow of Mordor, like there are parts that fit into a movie or a book lore or whatever, but for me it's mindless. There's got to be a mindless aspect to it, I think, for me anyway. But so Savage, anything popping into your mind?
Yeah, actually, I recently picked up again this game called Tetris Effect
Oh,
Connected.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's Tetris, but it has a mixture of the music along with it. I'm a big music fan. What was that game that I mentioned the other day? That we had meant. I said it was similar to Hi-Fi Effect, but Artful Escape.
oh yeah.
So it has the element of the music throughout it and all that stuff. But Tetris Effect basically is Tetris, but each key that you hit, anytime that you make the little block turn or whatever,
Tetraminos.
it makes some sort of music along with it. And so the
Mhm.
faster you're doing it, the faster the music goes or whatever. And it's pretty cool. What's the best thing about Tetris Effect is you can enjoy it by yourself. So like if you have had one of those days that you just need to woosah and wind down, it's pretty good because the music's going to be chill. It's going to be, there. Or because it's connected, you can play along with two other of your friends. So they can join in on the game if they're able to, download it or play it as well. So,
I really want to try that one in
pretty cool.
VR. I saw it in the Quest store.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it'd
I
be
wanted to try it
neat
too.
with
I
that
saw it.
immersion. Yeah,
Yeah, Xbox is pretty cool on it, but I'm like, ooh,
it is.
what
It
what
Mark,
if
is.
what if
And
VR? Like that would be
yeah.
amazing if
uh,
it was
Mark,
in
I
VR.
yeah,
think you talk about your electric greens. Apparently, that's people said that's kind of like it's very transcendental. It's like you get like the whale forming out of the
yeah,
Yes,
constellation as
it,
you
it
do
is
it. It's
kind of
beautiful.
zen, and it's
Yeah.
a little bit of it has an an electric daisy carnival feel. Like I don't know if you've ever been to those EDC or have heard of those EDC, but like some of the effects, I'm just like, I don't know if this is allowed on the show, but if you were high or smoking or something, you'd be
yeah.
like,
That's
yeah.
It's legal in parts of the country.
that's
Minnesota,
that.
it's for
It's
medicinal
legal up here.
purposes at
Yeah.
this point.
So,
So
Not, yeah. It's gonna
That's
get there
not even
eventually.
medicinal purpose, straight up just legal here.
Well, that's
I
awesome
think
because
Yeah.
Zencaster is like in like international waters. So
Yeah,
because
sure.
because
Um,
I don't know,
yeah.
like that's awesome that it's legal there, but here in Texas, the governor still has it stick up his ass, and
oh
I
yeah,
don't.
unless
We
you're like
need
in
to.
Austin, I
I
assume.
need it.
Yeah, there you go.
I need to
Yeah, that's
legalize
what
already.
Todd said before the electric lettuce effect. You get that
Yeah, it's Mark's term.
a little bit
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah. Everything's
That
Um,
everything's allowed in the wild, wild west of Canada.
for, exactly. Or the wild, wild east, for me.
That's
Sean's
true.
over the
yeah.
west.
That's true.
Uh, for for me, I'm gonna go back to Vampire Survivors for this one.
Yeah.
That's the most video game that I've played in recent memory, and yeah, that's my answer. That's it. Although I did play a couple. Was it Super Beanie 64 and Kiwi
Kiwi
64
60
and
corn.
Beanie, um, were two again video game ass like video games. So yeah, check those ones out too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? We're about an hour into our time here, so folks, we'll probably do a little bit of acceleration on what we've been playing.
Yeah.
And we've kind of talked a little bit the last time we recorded. So, Savage, what have you been playing?
Um, Last thing, literally like 2 minutes before we started this whole video, I was playing Hogwarts, the Legacy, a new game that literally just came out.
hmm Not even
Um,
officially out, right? Like it was a
Oh, it's
pre-order,
tomorrow, right? It
yeah,
comes out
early
it's
unlock, I
tomorrow.
think. Yeah.
officially out for I want to say Xbox and PC for Steam, officially out for those two.
Okay.
But for the Switch and PlayStation 5, those have been pushed out a little bit further,
Well,
like
PlayStation's
April and
actually
July.
because PlayStation's got the exclusive Quest. If you pre-ordered it, you actually got it 3 days in advance on
Oh,
PlayStation.
nice.
Right.
On the other
Right.
versions, if you bought like the deluxe, you got it early as well. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been playing that. So what happened was I had to move to New Zealand for a little bit.
that's right.
So I
To get it
really wanted
even
to play
earlier
it
than
so bad.
early.
Like I pre-ordered it, but I'm like I can't wait just another day. I have to play it now because I would go on Twitch and people were already streaming it, and I was like, I want it.
Mm.
Like so, I switched my settings to where my location was located in New Zealand, and I was able to play
Is
it
it
early.
just that simple? Just like
Yeah,
going to
it's
Xbox and be like,
literally
"Hey, I'm in New
Xbox
Zealand
Wow,
settings.
now."
that's crazy.
You'll go to location
No.
and
Well,
something, and just instead of United States, just move it all the way down to New Zealand, and then boom,
all
done.
But
right.
then you have to
So
have
I
an
was,
That's great. Yeah, that's
yeah. So I've been playing that for like already. I have 12-hour playtime, 12 hours of playtime in it already.
wow. Wow.
So, it's pretty addicting. Like I don't want to stop playing it. I want to keep going and find out more about the stories, do more quests, find out more spells that I can do, and of course, get in duels and fights and things like that, and die over and over again. And then after like 5 times of trying and dying, then I'll get it. But it's really fun.
That's tough school,
S-
man. You die.
yeah,
Tough. Yeah.
I mean you die, but then because it's a game, so it'll allow you to
Someone
try
resurrects
it
you with a
again.
spell, right?
No, it's
Instead of
just
Yeah.
you try
That's
again.
how that works.
But yeah, despite the whole controversy around it, I really enjoy the game. I like the whole aspect of it, the artist and all the studio itself that worked on it did an amazing job. The graphics are amazing and similar to the movies and just like in the books that I read, the detail surrounding
Mhm.
everything was just perfect. So,
Nice.
so yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. That's
Awesome.
what I've been playing.
I've heard the game is pretty impressive. There's no multiplayer experience, and
Now it's single player,
but
unfortunately.
it does sound like I don't know about replayability, meaning you just start the game over and try it. Maybe you get a different house. I don't know how
Yeah,
that works. But it sounds like it's kind of cool that you don't get much say in your house selection, which is kind of fun. But it sounds like when we talked last time, trying to remember, you are a Hufflepuff. Did you get Hufflepuff or not?
yes, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so since Harry Potter came out, you've had the people who create these quizzes and things like that on Facebook, and then you have the Harry Potter fan club that also has that. So when Harry Potter fan club came about, I took the quiz and I was deemed a Hufflepuff. And I've been a Hufflepuff for about 20 years now because that's how long Harry Potter has been, out already. 20 years. Do you know that Harry Potter's now 20 years old? I I feel old because I was like 13 years old when that came out. So,
Mhm.
and I'm 35.
I was
So
married when Harry Potter came out, so
so
I just tell you I'm old.
yeah. So yeah, I've always been a Hufflepuff and the quiz and everything. I took the quiz in the game and here's my logic behind it because as several years ago, I was not as smart and experienced as I was in the adult world now, and I didn't understand it as I do now. So yes, I
Mm.
understand why I was put in Hufflepuff then, but this time, whenever I took the test in or like the sorting hat in the game, it deemed me as a Ravenclaw. Ravenclaws are supposed to be like super smart and they're intelligent and they're things like that. So I am both. I am a Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. But I chose to be in Hufflepuff because it's been my house for like ever.
You can't go wrong with the company in there. I'm
Right.
a fellow sorted into Hufflepuff, and so is Deadpool, which always sold it for me. That
Yep.
was yeah.
I had another streamer do the test because it was coming out and he was like, I want to take the test. I want to find out what house I am. And he was put into Hufflepuff too and he was so disappointed. He was like, Hufflepuff, what the hell? He was like, why? And I'm like, have you seen you stream? Because he is dorky as heck, and he calls himself a himbo, like
Oh, jeez.
like a male bimbo. You know how
Remote.
bimbos are like, it's all
Oh,
dumb.
yeah.
He calls himself a himbo because he feels like he's dumb. Like there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't get. So I'm like, that's why you were put in Hufflepuff, sir.
There you go.
It's I always thought of, like, Hufflepuff was the group that was always, like, in the friend zone. Like, they were always the friend of the girl, and they could never win the girl's heart and vice versa.
No, I
Yeah.
think that's Gryffindor.
Oh,
I'm
really? I
sorry.
always thought
Excuse me,
Gryffindor was, like, the
Cedric Diggory.
paragons.
Are you saying that there's a
Cedric
girl
Diggory
that
was
Cedric
the
Diggory
friggin' hottest guy, and
could
all the
not
girls
get? Like,
wanted him.
come on.
I just thought Gryffindor
Exactly.
was always, like, the paragon, the folks that
Jeez
were always, like,
Louise.
perfect, doing their own thing. That's who I always thought that, like, you don't wanna be in Gryffindor because then you're just kinda like the
Nah,
ones that are just, like,
Gryffindor
too
are like
perfect.
the friend zone kids, and then the jocks. I feel
Mm,
Mm.
like
that's not the job.
they're the Gryffindors, the jocks, and the ones that always constantly get put in the friend zone. The Hufflepuffs are your best friends. They're always loyal. They'll be there. The ride or dies. Um,
Mhm.
Ravenclaws are the brains. They have all the smarts and they know
The high
everything.
performer, right? The
And
high
they hold
potential.
themselves to a
Yeah,
higher standard, and they're kind of
yeah.
like snooty and they're like snobby a little bit, and they're just like they think they're better than you. And then you got your Slytherins who will, at the drop of a hat,
Me
will beat
first.
you up and get your lunch money.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Maybe I'm
Yeah,
Slytherin.
there we go. There we
What
go. Good of you to admit that.
have you done for me lately? Oh, well. Well, very cool. I am. I know this game has a lot of controversy. We're not going to go into that, but I
Yeah.
am curious to see how this plays out because, a lot of people have. This has been the game they wanted for this franchise because there has not been a Harry Potter game in years, and most of them have been pretty subpar. So,
Mhm.
I think this is making a lot of people very happy. And I just saw that PlayStation is actually dropping a custom DualSense Legacy of Hogwarts controller, which looks pretty stinking cool.
Ooh.
So
I don't
um,
even have PlayStation, but I want that controller.
it's looking pretty sweet. It's got like Hogwarts in the touch screen, and it's beautiful.
Oh,
So
that sounds
yeah,
cool.
Cool.
yeah. Marketing has
Well,
its privileges apparently. Well, very very cool. So let's move on to you, Mark.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
yeah, I have been playing one game that I got thanks to our friends over at Terminals for sending me this one as a review code. And I'm sorry I got to it so late. I've had this one for a few weeks and just wanted to give it the time that it deserves. So this is MaskMaker on Quest 2. This is a VR game. It is a beautiful, colorful puzzle adventure, story based, story driven kind of game that sucked me in anyway to figure out like what the story was, what's going to happen next, and the gameplay is kind of it grips you into the next little bit, so you can do it in kind of tiny pieces and figure things out from there. But the basic gist of this is you kind of go in, you find this piece of paper and you follow it to a mask making shop, and there's a little thing that kind of plays out in shadows and voices, and as you walk in there's like no one there, but you can still hear this voice, and in VR it's very creepy because the voice is kind of everywhere. But basically, yeah, you kind of like find a secret room and you're kind of guided through some things, and you can pick up basically everything, which is really cool, and kind of explore it and look at it. And you start building masks, and the masks, when you put them on and you actually like take your controller and put it on your face, and it transports you to another world, which is very cool. And the worlds again are colorful and all different and really engaging. And you have to find items or find the next story piece or find the puzzle basically for that area, and the areas are kind of bite-sized, and there's always a way to get to the next area. So one of the first ones, I don't want to spoil too much for this in this little review, but basically like one of the first story areas you see, you come to this bridge that's collapsed, and it's how do I get across the water. Yeah, so you can see, someone across, say like across a broken bridge or something like that. You have to figure out how to get to them, and you find bits and pieces, and their mask is going to look like your mask but with a slight variation. So you can go back to the mask shop, you pull your mask off and you build a new mask, and when you put it on, you transport to where that other person is, and then you can explore their part of the stage. And you keep doing that in each of the stages. You build more and more complicated variations of these masks and uncover again new areas, new parts of the story, find out what happened to the mask maker, find out what happened to the apprentice, and it is engaging as hell. I loved it. Savage, I know you played this one as well.
Yes,
Okay.
I actually really enjoyed the story behind it because it was the way it started kind of like was like a mystery. It was like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
anything that has mysteries or puzzle solving, I'm there. Like, I'm like, what happened next? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
let's do this. Like, I want to solve this riddle and what's going on, and I need to know why. What, like, anyways. So I really like the way it starts. I like the whole storyline behind it. I like the whole math making thing and the way you have to transition from world to world and create the new math to go to the next section. Now, shockingly, the only thing that I did not like about this was because it made me sick. I got motion
Right.
sickness with this one,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was just because the way I was moving or what. And I never get sick with VR games. Like, I've played the Darth Vader, Immortal VR games. I've played Beat Saber. I've played all sorts of other VR games that requires you to move, but this particular game got me sick, and I was like, "Whoa,
Wow.
I have to sit down for a second." So I
I
really enjoyed it,
yeah.
and I'm gonna pick it up again, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna like take some medicine prior to
I
prior
am putting in
to
the
doing
chat
that.
right now, C-bands. Wow, this is the biggest link in the world that I just added, but,
Whoa.
they're essentially it's so weird that it is, like, the biggest link in the world. But essentially little bands that have a little pressure point that you put on, and they're
Oh,
supposed to reduce, motion sickness. Like, if you're traveling, flying,
yep.
going on roller coasters, they're,
That's
like,
yeah.
$10, and they're just reusable, and I took those to an amusement park, and they were great. So maybe that'll help you. It's great because you can just slide
Oh,
them
okay,
on, you're good to
cool.
go.
All right. Yeah, this is available for other platforms like PC, Steam, PSVR. I don't know if it'll be on PSVR 2. I hope it will because it's a really cool game, and I think people should give this one a try if you like that kind of um, again puzzle but engaging story and exploring different colorful very unique worlds. Like each one feels unique and different. There's also in this one some quality of life improvements and a free mask making mode, so you can just kind of like create your own masks and have some fun that way. So it's really really cool. This is from the publisher is Vertigo Games, and Innerspace is uh, the developer. So thank you to them. I really appreciated this code, and I love diving into more VR stuff. I hope to keep covering that more.
They
The
put a
other thing I
disclaimer
played,
on their name, though, will not give you
yeah,
vertigo
Vertigo, or not, yeah,
games.
hopefully not. Um, The only other thing I've been playing is Goldeneye. I talked about that in a Patreon exclusive segment last week. So if you're part of Patreon at all, you get access to that feed. And I've been playing the Switch versus Xbox version. Neither one of them are perfect, but there's also some stuff that we've shared in Discord about if you're playing on Switch, how to get the control scheme to be more like Xbox, because Xbox is perfect, but unless you're playing with an N64 controller, the Switch version feels a little wonky, and there's no like modernized control thing, which is kind of annoying. But it's GoldenEye, man. It feels good. It sounds amazing. The music still absolutely kicks ass. I tweeted at like some appreciation to Grant Kirkhope today, who I thought did all the music for it, but he corrected me on the elevator music, and shared that one was in fact by Robin Beanland,
Hmm.
who is a music composer and director for Sea of Thieves and Everwild and stuff at Rare currently still.
Nice.
So
Did they go on to
uh,
make the Wii U, the Wii eShop music too?
it's a similar vibe to that elevator music in James Bond, but just great music in that game. So much. The pause menu, the elevator music, just the actual stage music is good, but like it's those little bits of like they turned the James Bond theme song into an elevator music thing. It's brilliant. So if you haven't played GoldenEye on Game Pass or Nintendo Switch Online, just give it a try. And if you keep
I,
playing through the story, you'll get some rare achievements, because no one goes past the first dam level, which
yeah,
isn't like the first dam level, but like the first level is called the
Oh, I
dam.
the
called it the
dam.
damn
Yeah,
level.
The dam level. Yeah.
the dam level.
Like like 50% of people who have played the game or downloaded the game have played that stage and then stopped playing because it's like it drops off to like a 20 percentile by the next stage. So
It's like
um
Mario World 1-1.
yeah,
Nobody plays
yeah, that's
past
it.
World
It's
1-1.
people play that, they're like, I've had enough, thank you, nostalgia.
I get it.
um
Right.
yeah, that's so
And I
that's what
think
I've been
that's
playing.
the only reason that majority of the people got it for that
Yeah.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because,
And like
like, for me, like, I remember as a kid, playing this game and the freaking, whenever you would verse your friends, the split screen, the whole thing, and everybody's like, okay, slaps only, and we're gonna go
Golden
slap each
Gun.
other, or
Yeah.
just the mines only. Those were the
yes,
best times. Now,
proximity mines.
yes. And what I was disappointed in is as far as the Nintendo Xbox is it doesn't have the multiplayer
No.
like
I know,
Switch does. Switch
so
has the
frustrating.
multiplayer, but I wanted
Online,
on
specify
yeah,
online, because you can play couch
online
co-op on
multiplayer.
Xbox. uh
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Well, I mean, who is better at online than Nintendo?
exactly.
Right, jeez,
And so
it's
why
so
why
weird.
couldn't they just like do it
It's so
for
weird.
Xbox too? But
Yeah.
so I was sad, mostly sad.
Yep.
Not disappointed, but just sad because I couldn't play with my friends online. Um, and everybody was like looking forward to the whole being able to play with your friends, but you're still over there not having to sit side by side on the couch. Because Lord knows,
Yeah.
people, I don't like people coming over to my house, so
I'm
I'm
not
fine with
mad.
you
I'm
just over there.
disappointed. Nintendo Xbox. I'm disappointed, like a
Disappointed.
parent. Yeah.
So so yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the game. I got it for the nostalgia, and I finished the dam, and I finished the one after that, the
Facility. What's the next one?
facility where you have
You
to like
go
go in
down and yeah.
and blow up the tanks and stuff like that. Um, and
Yeah.
then part of the third one, but then after that, I'm
Mm.
just like, eh, that doesn't have multiplayer, so I'm done.
I had to. I played it on Xbox for a very short period of time. I had to correct my sensitivity because I felt like a drunk person. Like the cursors are like going all like, what is going on here? What am I doing
So
here?
you had to lower
Um,
your sensitivity
I had
because
to
it was
lower the
too.
sensitivity because
Okay.
I'm like,
Mm.
why is it going all wonky? And I'm like, no, I don't have the weird N64 like toothpick for that. So yeah, which I think wasn't, and I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I played on the N64. But the
Mm.
actual actual targeting was on the C buttons, right? Not the Not
That
the
what no, well, the
action.
targeting was kind of strafe and you could look up and down. And
Oh,
then precise targeting, you did have to hold in the R button and then
oh, okay.
shoot with the Z button.
Yeah.
So,
Got it. Got it.
uh, I mean, if you have the nostalgia for it and the muscle memory from playing this as a kid like I do, the N64 felt really nice. And I have two N64 controllers for my Switch, so my brother and I were playing that way. But anything
And
else,
for me, the Xbox controller was similar. Like, if
yeah,
you play Halo, you could play this. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
like
you can.
everything
100%.
was.
Yeah.
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 And I thought it felt very natural on the Xbox, like for a modern kind of thing. So, um, yeah, there's like a 13 step process of like programming a Switch controller profile that you can do, but that's kind of annoying, and I don't know why they wouldn't just put in
Apparently, Rare said,
that
"I'm not going to
option.
help you, Nintendo. Screw you."
Oh,
And because Xbox owns Rare, they're saying, "Please do it." I'm like, "Yep, got it done in 2
yeah,
seconds. We're done." And Nintendo's
yeah,
like, we can't figure this out."
whatever works. It was a fun nostalgia trip, but there we go. Todd, speaking about nostalgia, you've been playing a remake of something. How'd that go?
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk about Forspoken because, quite honestly, it's for other people, not me. So try the demo. If you don't like the demo, you'll not like the game, like I did not. So it went back to GameFly. No more to go there. I think some people will find the fun. I just did not, so I'm not going to bag on that game. It's for some people, not me. But Dead Space remake. This is a game that if you've never played Dead Space before, this is the version you want to play. It's fantastic. It's awesome. Unfortunately, the game is also available on EA Play through Xbox Game Pass if you want to play it there. There's perfectly
The
great
original,
versions
yeah.
of it. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have all the quality of life features, but the actual game itself is not that changed that much. They did do some things to make this game like Motive Studios. They basically redid the game, but didn't change a lot. But they did do some things to add some more gameplay elements. It's beautiful. Isaac actually talks. He didn't talk in the first game. It's great. I mean, Dead Space is essentially the thing in outer space. You crash land into the ship. You are part of a crew, and you find essentially that everybody that's on the ship, the Ishimura that you land on, has essentially been turned into horrific monsters. You find a weapon, which is actually an engineering tool that to combat these aliens, and it's got a really cool aesthetic where it's essentially a third person shooter, but you have to target the necromorphs, as they're called, in specific spots to take off their limbs. If you just shoot them in the head and the body, you're not going to do much damage. You're not going to do much good. So, and they give you so many cool additional features in regards to like a freezing. I forget what they call it. They like a stasis module.
Mm.
They can use limited times to freeze the enemies, so then you can have more time to actually target their limbs. And then you get a really cool like gravity gun like feature where basically you can grab like things from the environment and throw them at the enemies. So like you can even grab the enemy's own horrific pointy limbs and shoot them back at them, which is one of the coolest things in the world. So like you freeze, you shoot, you do this. It's got great skill trees. You can upgrade your suit you get, which is awesome. It's got anti-grav levels, which are awesome. Apparently, they even changed these gunning levels, where essentially you used to have to get in this gunning level and shoot these meteors that were coming at. They changed it, which was like
Mm.
a big complaint. So like they did all the things you want with a remake, which is to keep the core, uh, keep the things that work, fix the things that didn't, and just really add the polish and the beauty. And this game delivers on all those fronts. My concern was when I played it enough, I'm like, yep, I remember all this stuff. I don't have to play any longer. They nailed it. It's
Mm.
great. But
Right.
for me, I didn't find like, yeah, I want to keep going there because I already did it. So
Yeah.
that's where my nostalgia went away. And I'm like, you know what? I could spend another 15 hours doing this and I don't need to. But I think this is
Mm.
what's great. We took a game from the past and brought it up to modern day standards, and so people who were are pushed off by old games being old and kind of stuck in the past. This is a great game to explore and just revisit in a modern survival horror lens. That's really cool and sci-fi. It's great. So I highly recommend this game. For me though, I didn't need to play more, but they nailed it. So it's highest praise. but I'm trying to free up time to play other games. So that's exactly what this is for. So I highly recommend this game. And that leads me to the
Cool.
game I've been playing a lot and I want to play more of, which is a new experience, is Hi-Fi Rush. This is by Tango Gameworks, who made Ghostwire Tokyo. They made the Evil Within games. They're a Bethesda studio that is a Japanese studio, but they have also an international staff. They decided to make this game and they dropped it, shadow drop, on the Xbox Developer Connect a couple weeks ago. And this is an amazing game. I highly recommend this for everyone. It's all ages. This is a action, adventure, music, rhythm game. But you don't have to be good at rhythm. You just have to want to have fun and enjoy the awesome anime aesthetics for it. It's forgiving if you don't get the rhythm down, but if you get it down, it rewards you. So it's one of those best scenarios you could hope for. It's got upgrades, it's got companions, it's got a robotic cat you can pet, which is awesome. Your
Big bonus.
companion is Peppermint, which is, she's great. She comes in, you can give her upgrades too. It's great. It's got good traversal. It's really great and great bosses. It's clever. It's beautiful. And if you don't have Game Pass, which is on PC, it's $30. But if Game Pass, it's there. This is a surprise. It warms my heart that Xbox is embracing, that letting their studios do other things. And this really, I think, made a lot of people look at Xbox and what they're doing to say everything doesn't have to be AAA, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I have it downloaded and I have not played it yet. I've been focusing on the other stuff I've been playing, so definitely need to get to that.
Well, very good. Well, thanks all for what you've been playing. Let us know what you guys have been playing. We want to hear about it. But you know what? The good news about being delayed is we gave our picks on what we thought was going to happen in the Nintendo Direct. And you know what? Most likely we were probably wrong or highly disappointed, and go from there. But you know what? Which is awesome, is we did get the Nintendo Direct. So now we know what exactly happened. So we're going to talk about what happened. And I'm going to ask you guys, what was your biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, and what will you be buying? So this is the premise we're going to go through. So Mark, do you want to go through what was announced?
Very, very quickly, I'll run through some stuff. So the major announcements: Pikmin 4 coming out this summer in July, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, expansion pass DLC Volume 3. We've Samba de Amigo Party Central coming out this summer. Fashion Dreamer coming out sometime in 2023. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, a massive surprise DLC for that game. Tron Identity, we got that shown off here, coming out April 11th. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective looks super cool. That's coming out in the summer. Deca Police coming out sometime this year. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. We saw a little bit more of gameplay of that one, a little bit of the story. Splatoon 3 DLC, a two-parter on that one. Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass, which was out right meow. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie, Disney Illusion Island. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp finally getting a release date after being delayed for a little over a year, I think. That one's April 21st. Octopath Traveler 2 we saw shown off. That's coming out the end of this month. We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie coming out again this summer. Sea of Stars, Omega Strike, Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection, which is going to be a collection, or you can get them all separately. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe we saw shown off. Again, that one's coming out on the 24th. Surprise drop of Nintendo Switch Online adding Game Boy and Game Boy Advance for people with the expansion pass. Metroid Prime Remastered, surprise shadow drop yesterday with the physical version coming in a month or so. Batten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster. I played the first one on GameCube and didn't play the second one. But again, something that people have been clamoring for a while. Fantasy Life I. Don't know why the I is in there, but it is. The Girl Who Steals Time is another Fantasy Life game that was cool on the 3DS. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, not to be confused with Steam World, by our friends over at Thunderful Games. A little bit of a sneak preview of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 4 DLC not all the stages, a new stage and a new character, which is the first time I think they've dropped a new character in this wave stuff. WBSC Baseball Power Pros, which was again out right now, and then a
For a
little
dollar.
show off of for $1. Yeah, crazy. And then a little tiny bit of shown off of the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So that's it. That's a quick and dirty run through of everything. So, like Todd said, biggest surprise, biggest disappointment. What will we be buying? Let's start with our biggest surprises. Savage, what was your like big like moment for this?
Um, Not anything really, because again, Nintendo Switch stuff, I really don't play. My kids are the ones that have the Switch, but I do try to keep up with them. Um, as far as like the Game Boy Advanced and all the Game Boy games coming out, those were pretty cool because I'm like, again,
Mhm.
nostalgia. So I might want to just get that for the nostalgia portion of it.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know if this is just me because I'm I feel bad. But you know how like Mario and Luigi have their own games, like Luigi's Haunted Mansion and Mario's like has a bunch of whole game. I'm actually looking forward to the Wario games.
Mm.
Oh,
They
okay.
feel like they're kind of chaotic, and I want to play
WarioWare
those.
is 100% chaotic. That is
Yeah.
the Game Boy Advance, and then um, so Super Mario Land 3, which is a Wario game on the
Hmm.
Game Boy, is also excellent. It's really really
Yeah, and I
great. So
never
yeah,
got to
if
play
you're gonna
those
try those,
games.
yeah, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're and
I never got to play them, and I'm like, it's very chaotic, completely opposite of Mario. So I
Hmm.
want to try them.
Very much so.
yeah, which is nice because there's like what 4 games Mark were launched for game no 5 or 6 on Game Boy, Game
Um,
Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. I think it was 4 games.
So there's actually 9 for the
Oh,
Game Boy Color. So the Game Boy, I have the list right up here on my
sure.
Switch. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go through very, very quickly again. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening DX, which is the Game Boy, one of the Game Boy Color games. Wario Land 3. Which again is the Game Boy Color. I hope they do the Super Mario Land 3 as well, because that was really the introduction of Wario. But anyway, we have that. Kirby's Dream Land, Tetris, Alone in the Dark. What? Game
I
and
can
Watch
vouch for that
Gallery
one.
3 and Gargoyles are the Game Boy games. On the Game Boy Advance side, we have a few less, but still some really good titles there. Um, I'm just waiting for this to load up so I can actually read the games that are there. So
Okay.
we have Super
Um,
Mario Advance 4, which is Super Mario 3, which is awesome. The Minish Cap, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Kururen, and WarioWare. All right, Todd, what about you? Biggest surprise?
The Ben Katos one was so weird, but that was a
Mm.
surprise. It's a Game Boy, GameCube game, so that's cool. But obviously, Metroid Prime HD. I have pre-ordered my physical copy, so I'm not going to get the digital one. That's pretty cool. And the Game Boy drops. I think I even mentioned that as potentially as my like surprise. That's
Prediction? Yeah.
more value. I don't have the expansion pack anymore, so I've just got the standard. So I
Okay.
just Game
Just the
Boy
GBA.
all the games. I don't get the GBA games. So very
Yeah.
cool. And let me just tell you, the Alone in the Dark game, I did play that. It's very weird.
Yeah. Super weird. Since you guys stole my answers, I am going to give a shout out to Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. Did not see this crossover happening. Looks cool. I loved Dead Cells. I love Castlevania games. Um, Vampire Survivors reminded me of Castlevania, so I'm in the mood. Like, let's go. That was a
The
huge
music, the
surprise for me.
weapons, I'm very excited because
Yeah.
I have Dead Cells as well, and I love Castlevania. It's a cool mix.
Hmm. Disappointments. Any massive disappointments for you guys? Savage, we'll start with you again.
mm, I don't know. I'm not really feeling the whole subscription thing that they're gonna
Mm.
do. A lot of people are just like, I want to actually own the games, not just like rent
Hmm.
them or however they're doing it. so I had shown a message to Todd earlier. Was it Todd or
Yeah.
was it Mark? I can't
No,
remember.
you
Anyways, I was
you
like, I
talked
was
to
right.
me about that, yeah.
Because I had a few friends comment about the whole Nintendo Direct thing, and that was like the one of the first thing that was popped up on my feed in the morning, was about the release of Nintendo Direct stuff, and then the first comment under that one was, "I'm disappointed," because it was just a little. I'm like, yeah, I knew it. There was gonna be
Yeah.
people who didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no virtual
So.
I get
console on the
Yeah,
Switch.
and I kind of said that about actually recently about Goldeneye. Like, there's no way to just buy it on Switch.
Hmm.
You have to subscribe, and I get it from a business standpoint, but it's kind of annoying. I get that. Um,
Yeah, because
Todd,
subscribing every single month, I think you're
yeah,
gonna be like wasting more money doing that versus just a one-time purchase of, you know,
hmm
Yeah.
yeah.
of the
Luckily,
game.
Nintendo's is the lowest cost one you can find,
Yeah, that's
except for
It
the
is
true.
50
expansion packs.
bucks
That
as a
kind of
individual, what, $80
yeah,
for a family to have the expansion pass
yeah,
now. So if you don't have the people to share it with,
yeah. It can
I
be
mine
pricey.
ran out, so I don't get to play N64 games or GBA games now.
Yeah, and I split it with the maximum amount of people that you
Yeah.
can, like like
So
me, my
you're
brother,
set
my
for like
sister,
10 bucks a month
nephew, like
or 10 bucks a
yeah.
year.
So it's like
Yeah.
minimal cost for all, however many, 8 of us or whatever it is through the year. So it's not too bad, but yeah, if you don't have that kind of thing, it's a pain in the ass. I understand. Todd, disappointments.
I think the disappointment is the lack of consistency on what you get on the expansion pass. In the previous, you got the DLCs for like these big games.
Yeah,
You aren't getting that anymore. All the DLC that was announced today, none of it goes to the expansion pass. So I feel like it's weird, like the Splatoon DLC, not
the
there.
Mario Kart stuff is still
But that's
included in the game.
old. That's been like a year
That's
now
old.
since
Yeah,
it's been yeah. So it's like if there's
yeah,
no consistency of what you're going to get in the expansion pass, and the fact that the expansion pass still seems to be like maybe you'll get something, maybe you won't. So Nintendo just seems to be like I don't think they're very consumer consciousness of like what other subscription services are doing where they're putting out games regularly and doing things like this. It feels like we gave you this and we may put out maybe one Game Boy Advance game a month if you're
yeah.
lucky. And that's the problem. It's like, and they say they kind of tease you with like what might come out, but it's like they didn't show any Pokemon core games,
No.
which tells me you may not get Pokemon core games in this service, which just a huge slap in the face to people. But you get the collectible card game on the
Mm-hmm.
GBA. What is that on, Mark?
GBA. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
So
I
it's a
think
very one.
that's
So
advance. Yeah,
so to me, it's just like it's totally inconsistent on their process of like DLC. Because I thought if they
hmm
do all DLC goes on that, I'm like, that's a great service, but nobody wants to rent DLC because you've got Animal Crossing DLC for 3 years. Guess what? You've now paid out the butt for it and you don't own it. So I
yeah,
would say don't get it for the DLC, get it for those subscription games. So that's mine.
yeah. Very similar. The Splatoon 3 DLC didn't wow me. I really liked the Octo expansion and stuff for Splatoon 2, and this one, the stuff we saw. I mean, they teased maybe a new expansion story kind of mode, but the stuff that was dropped yesterday was like, um, a reskin for the lobby.
Yeah, I would say
Like if
it's
it
just
was a real,
reskinned, like recycled ideas.
I didn't
yeah,
get it. I
right.
didn't get it.
It
What was
wasn't
that?
anything impressive.
Was the
It
side
was the
dish
lobby
art?
from the lobby from Splatoon 1 basically, and but like you can't actually do anything in there with your, like if it was a social lobby where you could go and actually hang out with your friends before a match or do something that way, like I could understand it, but like it's the same items in the shops. It's the same kind of like general stuff that you can go to. So it's really just kind of like a reskinned lobby. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like. I was excited at first when I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, what are they going to do with this?" And they were like, "Everything's the same except it's different with no benefits."
And the
There you
single
go.
player stuff
Okay.
was just weird. The side dish or whatever it's called, and
Yeah,
they told you
but
nothing. It just
They
looked
didn't
very
tell.
emo and white. What
hmm
Hmm.
is that?
So I'm like Splatoon 3. I'm holding off on this DLC, man. I'm just like they got to wow me, and showing me like a weird black and white trailer is not doing it. Let's end on a high note though. What will you be buying, or what were you, excited about? What's the final big thing for you on this one? Savage, anything that you're buying, even for the kids, anything that you saw?
Mm, I don't know. For me, probably Legend of Zelda. I mean, because
Mm,
it's
yeah.
Zelda. Like I gotta have it. I've like I
Of
have to.
course.
I have
Yeah.
to. I have to complete it. And I'm sorry, but it just looks freaking amazing. The detail and everything that they put into it. And if you think about it, going from way back Zelda, like whenever we were younger, to now, they've come a long way. And I just want it. Like I need
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Absolutely. Todd.
I did purchase Metroid Prime HD physical
Right.
because you know what? If I share it with friends, I'm good to go, and it's kind of cool to own something physical. Love it. So that's come from Best Buy on the 22nd, I think. So very cool. I will be getting a voucher. So vouchers are back, which is great. For
Yeah.
$100 US, you can buy 2 Nintendo games. So you can use it for the Breath of the Wild, or sorry, Tears of the Kingdom, which is $70, which is a big deal.
Hmm.
That's now the first Nintendo game to go over the $60 price point. So definitely get a vouchers. They do expire in a year, but I'm hoping another Nintendo game will come out that I'll be able to use it against. So I essentially will spend $50 for a Nintendo game. So that will be the other game. I will say my son Logan is really excited about Tears of the Kingdom because they are essentially including like Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts into this game where you're going to be making vehicles and stuff. Very cool.
Mm.
But other than that, I was disappointed with the fact that we only got like 3 minutes. Not a lot of like an understanding of like what made this game take 6 years to make it, that made like this is like what's driving the thing. So I think we're gonna get like an extra like direct
We'll
on
get
this game
something
to
closer to yeah. Oh,
exactly.
absolutely. It's
It
not
does
till
look
May.
cool.
That's
I
all the
mean,
mystery too. That way they're not giving out too many details about the game. They
yeah.
want you to find
Hmm.
out and buy it so you can like find out for yourself, you
Yeah,
know?
we got 3 months until this thing comes out. So I assume they'll be doing something else to build up the hype. There is a collector's edition. I believe it's $120. Quite
Eh,
honestly, I will say it's not worth $120. It's an art book. It's got like some pins. It
For
seems
pins, yeah.
pretty versus the original collector's edition, which I bought for the Breath of the Wild game case, all this stuff. So kind
Oh
of a
yeah.
buyer viewer.
that's
But
fair game.
I'm gonna be getting a voucher to buy this game digitally. So I'm set
That's the
for
way to
that.
go.
So Mark, what about you?
I mean, that's yeah. Zelda's kind of I'm gonna go with Pikmin 4 though as my answer of something I'm very excited to buy and really excited to check out.
That game
Uh,
looks nice.
It looks
I
it's
like
cool.
the
I
again, the graphics on it. Like
yeah,
And a
if
dog.
it's
and it,
if it looks like they worked really hard on it, I'll buy it. Like
mm, yeah.
this one of the ones that they look.
I've loved the other three Pikmin games. They're chill. They're that, like you said before, Savage. It's that woosah game for parts of
Mhm.
it, and other parts it gets really stressful. But I love those games. But the big thing I'm excited about is I just showed my son Finn, who's like 2.5,
Mhm.
the Pikmin shorts on YouTube. They came
Oh,
out
those
years
are
ago,
cute.
but
Yeah.
Oh,
they're so cute. They're just tiny little shorts. If you haven't seen them, the Pikmin just kind of get themselves in shenanigans. There's no like talking or anything, but he loved them. He absolutely just died laughing at the shenanigans and stuff that the Pikmin were getting into. I can't wait to see him actually interact with this game and see the Pikmin on a screen and have them running about and me throwing them at things. It's going to be a blast to just watch him watch this. So
yeah.
I'm excited, and he's familiar with the characters, so it's really
It
cool.
kind of reminded me of the this little cartoon, the rabbits, where they
Oh
would
yeah.
like
Yes.
toss each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Super
just
cute.
reminds me of like that. And my kid, whenever he was little, he loved that show because there was no
Rabbids,
words. It was just
minions.
nonsense.
It's
It was
yeah.
just nonsense words, and then they would just do crazy things, and he loved that. So I think
Yep.
maybe this is the one that I would probably buy for him too. But my
Yeah.
6-year-old,
Try
my 8-year-old's probably like, I don't want that game.
Too cool for school.
try those shorts.
I'll
Try
see
the Pikmin
if he's
shorts.
interested.
See if they kind of like get some interest there. I'm super excited that there's a ton of stuff. Again, the Disney Illusion Island is another one that he's obsessed
Could
with
be
Mickey
fun.
Mouse, so it's
Yeah.
like it looks like a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Let's go. Something for him to watch us play. So
Yeah.
that's there's a few fun announcements. I thought this was a really solid direct overall. Something
It
for
was
everyone. I didn't love everything, but there was something for everyone.
it was fun. I thought they did a good job. Someone made a point. They're doing a lot more looking back and bring those things from the past there. So, and I look at
Mhm.
what actually is past Zelda. There's not a lot of games past Zelda and Pikmin. So I do think where the end is nigh for the Switch. They'll still sell a bunch of Switches for the next 3 or 4 years, regardless.
Mhm.
But I was going to say that I think we're going to get Zelda drops, and I think we're going to get a big June announcement, Nintendo Direct for what's coming the back half of the year, to what's going to wrap up the swan song of Switch, because I don't think Switch is going to be around for 10 years and no console. But I did have a question about the Pikmin game really quick. It looks like they're adding a night mode, so hopefully they're remedying my problem with Pikmin was I can't enjoy my chill out mode because I have to worry about getting on the ship before it gets dark and then everybody dies. So if they remedy that, that is the biggest problem I've had, because I enjoy my time just having a good time with Pikmin. But then it's like, you got to hurry up. You're going to get there. And you go like, that's too much stress. I just want to have a good time with these little guys. Let me have fun. Don't make me like have them die because they didn't get a ship. That's horrible, Nintendo. Why are you so
I'm
mean?
curious to see, because at the end of the trailer, you saw that big monster thing,
Yeah.
his eyes turn red. So like, can you fight that? Is it more like Pikmin / Dark Souls kind of thing? Like you can stick around at night if you don't feel like going to your spaceship, but like there's going to be some shit after you,
Right.
or like how's that going to work? I am curious. I hope we hear a little bit more about that game before release. So it'd be cool.
Very, very cool. Well, this is a great time. I'm glad this worked out. Mark will have to put this thing together for me. So good luck with that, Mark. But you know what? I think we're good to go. But once again, thank you, Savage, so much for, not only podcasting with once, but twice. You're a trooper. You're a superstar. We love you to death. This is awesome. And we will definitely do this again. So, but
I had
in
a
the
blast.
meantime, you know what? You had to have, because I don't think you'd come back
Both
if you
times.
didn't. Hopefully. Oh boy. But tell people how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on all of the main social medias. Twitter, I'm really active on, Facebook, Discord, and of course Twitch. Those are pretty my own. Well, I do have Snapchat, but Snapchat's dedicated for my dogs. Because if okay, so long story. If you go to my Twitter, or I'm sorry, Twitch, the first pictures that you're going to see is in my About Me tab is my dogs, because I love my dogs. My dogs are like my children.
Aw.
And so my Snapchat is mostly for my dogs. So and then everything else is just gaming related. But yeah, those are the social medias I primarily focus on: Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, definitely give Savage a follow. Watch her, just enjoy it. If you have questions about Sea of Thieves or how she plays the game with a keyboard and a mouse and
The all wonky.
interesting ways, check her out, because I think that's really cool. So thank you, and you're a better gamer than I am, because I lasted like 2 minutes. Mark tried to Sherpa me, didn't go so well.
You know what? Maybe you just
We
need the
had
right
fun.
teacher. Maybe you just need
Yeah,
the right
I'm
teacher.
not
Maybe
the
Mark was not
teacher. No,
the correct
100%.
teacher.
I'm
Say it with me one of these
yep.
days, and I bet you anything, you'd be like, all right, I can do this.
You know what?
Yep.
I would love to game with others, because I'm just so worried about I'm like gonna say something stupid or don't do something stupid. But I liked Sea of Thieves when I played with Mark. He was great. But
All right.
yeah, it was a great time. So awesome. Well, thank you so much. Mark, tell people where they can follow you.
You can find me everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, wherever, and our Discord is _Canardian, or over on Hive as Canardian.
Excellent. You can follow me at Twitter at Toxtra. Just reaching out to folks. We're always looking for new people to have on Secret Friends Unite. Bring on our Patreon. Have a great time. So if anyone has anyone they'd recommend that they want to talk about video games, comic books, all things nerd, let them know. My DMs are open. I'd love to hear from them. Also, Secret Friends U on Twitter. secretfriendsunite.com for everything that we do, and our Patreon. Check it out, please, and join our Discord, because we're having a great time over there. I think we're just finding our path there, and it's just been a lot of fun. So please
It's been blowing up. It's
do
good.
that. Yes. So thank you, Savage. Thank you, Mark. And folks, remember, it's always better to game together.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network. Visit secretfriendsunite.com for more great shows, articles, news, reviews, and more. Secret Friends Unite podcasts are available on Apple, Google, Spotify, and other podcast services around the world. If you'd like to be part of the conversation, you can join us on Facebook or our new Discord server, or follow @SecretFriendsU on Twitter. Please subscribe to Secret Friends Unite on YouTube and visit our merch store at tpublic.com. Just search Secret Friends Unite. Thanks for listening.